All right, everybody, good morning. Season's greetings to you. Happy holidays from Chicago. So nice to be with you this morning. I hope you're doing so well. We made it down yesterday, drove down from Madison to Chicago, hanging out with some family here for a few days. I hope wherever you're at in the world that you are able to connect with friends and family, whether that's in person or getting on a phone or call and having a beautiful connection. So very nice to be able to connect with you today here. Grab a coffee. If you're new coming through, I'm Dr. Z. Very nice to meet you. Hope you're doing well. This is Fasting Space. Little space that I'm hosting for you. Fasting-based health and wellness. To me, when we are moving in a space of health, fasting is like a base layer of health. And then fasting is just a tool, not the only tool, but that base layer, and then we add every other good part of health to it. So we're trying to stay active. We add that movement on top, trying to make healthy food choices. We're doing that on top of that. And then bringing every good mental health practice to bring peace and clarity to our mind, guiding our actions. It's all a total health space. That's what I want. Total wellness for everybody. And on a holiday time like we're in today, especially want to dial in, realize in my view, a fasting practice and healthy eating, just two sides of the same coin. And eating many roles that it has, of course, bringing nutrition into the body, a vital element, but then food also about a celebration. And celebration, a healthy, beautiful thing. So we want to be able to celebrate, and food helps us connect with people. So maybe today, if you bring in a little fasting space, that's like me, kind of fasting space in the morning, grabbing a coffee, having a thoughtful space, and then, move into a celebration eating zone for lunch, dinner, that sort of thing. That's a way, bring a little bit of fasting space, even into a holiday if it serves you. And if it doesn't, then say tomorrow or next week. Never any pressure. Pat is with us. So nice to have you here. Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas. Been on a sugar, flour, sweetener detox lately. Hey, I love that. Today, thinking about all the goodies. Not really excited about the food. Is that a question to me? I am excited personally for good food in the next couple days for sure. Oh, is that what you're saying with like, cookies, get excited about it. Hard to be on a cookie detox over Christmas. It is, yeah. I hope that's going well for you. So I'm here in Chicago. Show you a picture I took last night. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hey, hopefully this is a good space to be in. Many times if you get in a space, if you're able to kind of detox from something, we get in habits and cycles with it. And if we're able to create some space from it, can kind of get us out of a flow of it a little bit. An indifferent space, not necessarily a bad space to be in, kind of interesting space to explore. What we're trying to do, the whole big idea in general and everything that I'm trying to move us toward, finding a flow state in life where we're able to flow through spaces, navigating and balancing our enjoyment of food, our need for food, with the practice of staying on a weight loss path that's taking us to the goal that we want. It's kind of whatever analogy you like, threading the needle, moving toward it. And we discussed that most things of value in life have a barrier to entry. It takes work to get to a place of value, to build skill with any kind of practice, whether that's an exercise practice, a meditation or journaling practice, a skill. I always like to say playing an instrument. You don't just sit down and play the violin. You gotta build the relationship and the skill with it. Fasting, like that. Healthy eating is like that. Navigating, these spaces, our relationship with food. And so we put in the work of it. The practice, hopefully the daily rhythm and routine that helps us go. But the goal isn't that we always have to work at it. The goal is that we get in a flow state with it where we can just flow through that space without any struggle. That's what we want. Minimizing the struggle. That's the paradoxical space of fasting, where people would say, fasting, man, that's like a struggle. Maybe it can be when you start, barrier to entry. But then you realize, oh, this is teaching the body, hey, we're okay in this space. I tell you, here's a space where I was okay. We walked downtown Chicago last night by this giant tree. How tall is that tree? I don't know. It's like 40, 50 feet tall. Brilliant tree against the background of downtown. So we just had fun walking around that. So many people, just the total crowds. It's always a bit of a spectacle, to get to a big city, and I'm more of the type where I want to get out in the country and away from this, but it's a spectacle to see, and it's just it always feels good to just see so many people coming together, so many happy people enjoying the day. We walked down to like a 6-story tall Starbucks. It's like the world's largest Starbucks. It's got like circle escalators, and you can go up level after level of, grab as many coffees as you want. Yeah, this tree was especially stunning. All right, just wanted to share with you today a couple quotes, as I've been loving to do, to kind of frame our thinking of this day. To me, this is a day, a celebration day and a holiday. If we're able to connect, I love that talk we did, building our mental capital, right? Well, here is a day where, say, we're on a health path. We're working hard. We're trying to really line up all our thoughts to support ourselves. Maybe we've been looking forward to a day like this for quite a while. I've said, weight loss challenge, December, moving toward it. It's like all these other days and the weeks leading before it, say we're like leaning in, trying to create some forces going in one direction so that the flow of the season isn't pulling us, at least too far off course, setting ourselves up for a great 2026 and like really charging up. Well, like here is a super day to charge up. We've been charging up for a day like this. And so we lean in, celebrate with food and people today. Finding gratitude for that and just trying to like create the best memories. Here, gratitude is the heart of the holiday spirit. I loved that quote. So gratitude going to be my centering word for the day. Encourage whatever space we're in. Gratitude to me can come from two different mindsets. If we're in a positive, beautiful, space, like realizing, okay, cycles to things, and it's like when we find ourselves in a beautiful moment, just trying to hang on to that, make the best memories we can. And maybe today, for someone else is on a more of a down cycle, and so in a holiday season, from that sort of space, whatever season we're in, if we're in a lower season coming in, saying find a bit of gratitude here can be something to lift our spirits, look forward to, realize, okay, the night is darkest just before the dawn. That's what I say. And so wherever we're at in this holiday season, gratitude, something that can lift our spirits, help us to enjoy a moment. So let's all take a moment here together. What are things, or even maybe the one thing that you are the most grateful for right now, and how can we use that as a centering thought to move us forward in this day? Can you see my mug here? This is my sister-in-law's today's goal: keep the little humans alive. I love that. We've done it. There's a big gratitude for another year coming by. We've kept the little humans alive. Fasted 23 hours yesterday. Light, no-carb meal in preparation. Feeling strong, excited for the kids, thankful for the family. That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Yeah, that was my yesterday. I did a one meal a day yesterday also. I really like, personally, when I'm traveling, I don't really like to eat a lot. I like to really keep things light, keep that digestive system shut down. It's like there's so much hustle and bustle and trying to pack everything up and get out on time, and it's like, I'm just gonna take that, breakfast out of the equation. I'm just gonna stick, with a coffee, no more dishes and stuff to clean, and then just driving, getting where we're trying to go. And so I did the one meal yesterday, and then we got down to Chicago and we had dinner at the Walnut Room, which is like this big beautiful restaurant at the top of Marshall Fields, and it's all done up for Christmas. We had just such a nice dinner, and that was such a, you frame a beautiful meal to me in a fasting space. It just helps bring so much enjoyment and appreciation to it. So we had a similar sort of day yesterday, and then I'm gonna be more on the 2 meals today. All right, we're finding our gratitude space, and then this other quote that I was contemplating. Life is not a problem to be solved, but an experience to be had. And this felt like an interesting kind of space to flow into and think a bit about today. As we're here in, a holiday is like one of the biggest days of the years, where it's like we want it to be an experience, and maybe this can help us to appreciate this both for today and then for, life more broadly. So many times, at least I know personally, I feel like is life just a series of problems? It's like we flow from one thing to the next, and here, we're in a space on a health channel where we can see health as a problem. We can say, I have some problem I'm trying to solve. And I'll encourage us with this quote. Take a day like today. We're setting our problems aside at the very least. Trying to have an experience here, really more broadly though, that can show us a pattern for all of life. Life is not a problem. Problems, experiences that we have, that's what they are, not so much a problem. Say, look, I'm having a human experience here. We are in a situation. It might be a situation, but it's not a problem. And there's meaning and purpose to it. Remember the discussion we did the other day. Everything matters. Everything, I do believe, happens for some reason or greater purpose. Sometimes I've had debates with myself about that. Well, can we poke holes in it? What about some terrible tragedy? Think of all the difficulty that has happened in the world. Does all of it happen for a reason? I'm certainly not going to argue that everything that happens is good, but perhaps at least this is the mindset that can help us approach difficulty and make the most good out of it, to learn and grow from it. I think that's perhaps the best that we can do, even with very difficult things. But so here we are in a space, problems either set aside or reimagined as an experience to have and grow from. And this is kind of the foundation, like the soil that I really want us to be growing out of 25 and into 26. Having a problem-focused sort of mindset is already a limiting belief. That's what I say. When we start saying we don't even have problems like we thought we did, we're having a human experience here. All of a sudden, this is opening us up to say, hey, we have tools. Remember the talk we did? Was it Clues to the Weight Loss Puzzle? We start looking, okay, we're having an experience here. Solving a puzzle can be fun, right? We voluntarily, we get the puzzles and we try to sort them out. As we look toward 2026, this is what we're going to be diving really deep on. How do we figure out our little puzzle using the tools that we have in the most kind, gracious, thoughtful, gentle, yet powerful and resilient way? That's certainly a balance that I want to help us strike. And how about a way that is fun? That's what I want, where it's like we are having an experience, we are on a journey, we are moving forward in health. That should always be like a really positive, enthusiastic, joyful experience. That's how I approach fasting personally, is a curiosity, it's an exploration. Never anything forced or pressure. I take that same mindset to every health practice. Like exercise, especially, I'm a big exerciser. I always say that. I always tell people exercise not necessary, because for many people it's a difficult thing to start exercising. And many people have a history with having tried to exercise their way to weight loss and better health and found it to be a disappointing experience. I usually have people lean into the fasting process first. That's what I say. Lean into the fasting process first. Take the pressure off. This can be a really joyful exploration when you realize, oh, I see what is happening here. I'm not so dependent on food. I have this energy here as a resource, training my body to do it. Say, let fasting do the work. Then we can flow through a space where slowly, gently, we're getting better at opening up that space. It's having an experience. It can be joyful. Be like, look, I'm having some weight loss here without busting myself in the gym. Like, and then you can start to feel it. Energy flowing out of the body, creating a flow state we want with everything. And then from the humble baseline, something very sustainable, grounded, root level experience. We're like, I don't actually have to do too much work here. See, this is something you can get really excited about. It's like you approach a weight loss process, pure exercise, burning your way through it, where you don't adjust the diet, and it's like, we got to be burning through all the food, and then we get more and more active. Say it, we haven't gotten hunger in check. I was saying before, fasting, a process of teaching the body, this is when the food is coming in, and actually we're okay in this space. Paradoxically, fasting, the process, you experience some hunger to go through it, but then it's what brings hunger under control. And then from that space, to open up that space, and we don't have to exercise our way through all that food. Now, once we get that in a better place, then we can start adding some gentle movement. Once we've got hunger under control, we have a better relationship with it. Don't have to exercise so much, then that can become the joyful exploration. We take the pressure off the exercise. You don't have to burn through all the food coming in, plus all the calories we want to lose. Now exercise, it can just be a joyful exploration. I just want to move my body because it feels good. I just want to move my body because it's making me strong. All the pressure taken off of it. So these are the types of things, the same thing with healthy eating. Say, yeah, like Pat was saying, some low carb eating, keep processed foods out, okay? But that's, like, to be a purist on that, very difficult in a space where we are surrounded by it. And when that's the only lever that you have to pull, say, oh, it's like, can I never have, one of these? It's like, Christmas, can I have a cookie? I say, of course you can. Of course you can. It's how we take the pressure off of all of that by bringing all of these things into balance. Sometimes I describe it like different dials to turn or different threads to pull on. It's like, and that's the puzzle, right? How do we take all these different threads? Somebody going to want to lean more into an exercise path. Somebody said, that's not for me. I want to really lean into this fasting thing. So all of us can have a different balance of how these tools come together, but the same basic toolkit. And so that is how we solve our puzzle. That's how we adapt all these things for our specific situation and purpose. Doesn't have to be anything more than this. That's what I like about this fasting space. The actual process of the program, right, it's just the practice, right? Grab a coffee, hang out, have a pleasant space. This is what fasting doesn't have to be anything more than that. Find a pleasant way to flow through a space. Coffee is the faster's friend. For you, maybe it's tea, maybe it's just having water, and any of that is perfectly fine. Caffeine, a natural appetite suppressant, so if you struggle with hunger, you get a little bonus of that, either from a caffeinated tea or from even a decaf coffee. A little bit of caffeine can kind of settle that space. It's like a crutch, So to me, this is the best crutch because it's essentially calorie-free. If you look up for a coffee in an 8-ounce cup, it will often round up to 1 calorie. And, to me, I say, ooh, 1 calorie. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. That's what I say. Sometimes you say, does 1 calorie matter? Is it pure fasting? If some purist wants to come in and argue about, well, the coffee isn't pure fasting. I mean, I just concede the argument. Like, there's probably some purist level where you say, oh, have the water only. That'd be water only fasting. That's fine. And, I do that from time to time. I take caffeine-free and coffee-free days. And sometimes that really feels good. Especially if I'm trying to do like a meditation, really open up a space. Sometimes if I have too much coffee, do you experience this? I can get a little jittery. I say, I don't want that, especially if I'm really trying to bring some calm and peaceful thoughts into a space. So all this is a balance. You don't have to have anything like that. But to me, this is also a nice metaphor of what we're trying to accomplish. We're not striving after perfection. We're trying to create an experience, like we said from the quote, where we can just flow through a space enjoyably. I call coffee contentment in a cup because, I can flow through a space almost indefinitely with a nice coffee, and this is what we're trying to do. If you can find contentment in a practice, then there's no struggle. Contentment and struggle not in the same ballpark. So we're just trying to find a space where we're content that works. That's what we want. A space where we're content that works. If you say, I'm very content here, but we're not going in the right direction, is not working, then we say, well, we got some more work to do to flow into that type of space. I usually say black coffee, though. Black coffee is, to me, is as pure fasting as you need. Adding stuff to it is what creates the gray area. It's like a gray area. Throw some creamer in there. There's a whole community, you start watching some keto videos on YouTube, and people have bulletproof coffee. They'll put butter, coconut oil, cream, all this stuff, and have like a high fat, but low carb keto coffee. And so that would be that, like keto is like the ultimate low carb, but without fasting. Now you can combine these things. To me, I haven't really got into that. I just say keep the coffee black, keeps it in as pure a space as you need. Some people find, though, that, low carb eating, even without fasting, can be a sustainable process for some people. My experience counseling people on ultra low carb eating, it's about 1 out of 10 people can maintain a keto process, for longer than a year. And most people want to moderate that, and I like that. To me, fasting, the type of process that can help us moderate the intensity of a pure keto process, where we can bring in more healthy carbs and balance it out. So that's a big reason why I like fasting for sure. But adding a lot of stuff to coffee, especially milk, especially sugar, that's the sort of thing. Even like a little bit of sweetener. See, now we get in a gray area. 10 calories. Does 10 calories mess up fasting? I hear Dr. Z saying, well, 1 seems to be fine. What about 10? It's still so tiny. Can't I throw a shot of sweetener in, or creamer or something? And I'll tell people, of course you can. And if it works for you, I certainly don't care. I just want things that are working for people, that are pleasant and helpful. If you can keep a little creamer, in the coffee, you throw a little peppermint in the holiday and you flow through a space. Maybe it still works for you. So I'll try to dial in on the practice that works for the most people, that is the pure version. And of course, like anything, you can dial in the amount of it that serves you and works well. I definitely have worked with people over the years, though, where they're like, man, I can cut out breakfast, but I can't cut out, the cream, the sugar out of the coffee. And so I say, as a practice, you just work on it. And we have talked on the channel about, a space where the metabolism can get a little confused. It's like we're trying to open up some fasting space, but then energy's coming in. And we have this switch we talk about where the body's trying to determine, are we in a fasting space? Are we not? A black coffee, clearly, to me, keeping the body in a space where it can operate. But you start tasting sweetness. I was describing the other day how even when we taste sweet, it's affecting the hormonal cycles in the pancreas of our insulin level, because it's getting ready for sugar to be coming. And so this is the thing. Maybe the 10 calories isn't what makes the difference, but the presence of sweetness, molecules affecting the insulin. And remember, insulin blocking access to body fat. So it might be more than just 10 calories in the fasting state. It might be more that when we start adding a lot of stuff to it, it can be changing the hormonal structure. And to me, that's what's most important. All the health practices we're doing, between getting our mental space in a calm and settled fashion to keep that parasympathetic flow. Remember, that's what disrupts that cycle of chronic inflammation, as bringing peace and contentment physically in the body. The breathing practices, all of that, so important. And then the fasting space, another way, trying to bring down the insulin level. That's all this affecting the hormones in the body, the cortisol, the insulin. All right, I am glad that we were able to connect today. I'm going to jump down with the kids and everybody hanging out. Really beautiful to share this space with you. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning. We grab a coffee again, center ourselves, and we move forward in health together. Hope you have a beautiful day. take us out with our beautiful tree here. I hope you have a space where you can find gratitude in this day. Have a beautiful experience, and I will connect with you soon. Have a great day, everybody.